And welcome back to another aquaponics video. It's been about 6 weeks since I've set up this system, maybe a little bit longer. It's been about a month since I've updated on it. So we're going to go through a few problems with growing aquaponics stuff at home. If you haven't seen aquaponics before, it's pretty simple. There's fish in tubs, the fish eat food, which is obviously fish food. That gets broken down by your filtration. So you have ammonia produced by the fish, which is a chemical waste. The bacteria in your filter breaks down ammonia to nitrites, then nitrites to nitrates. And your nitrates is your end chemical, and that is what your plants feed off. Your plants also take up nutrients from the water, trace elements, amino acids, all that wonderful stuff, and the fish kind of do the same. So it's trying to get a happy balance with your water and your plants so that the plants feed off the nutrients from the fish waste and the fish don't get polluted and die from their own waste. There is a few issues with this, and as I said, as the plants and the fish eat their food, they also take up trace elements and minerals out of the water. There is a lot of goldfish in there, isn't there? And the problem with that is your pH will keep going down, and the pH is just the acid alkaline of the water. So we're going to go through a few things that I've done wrong, how to fix it so you don't sort of make the same mistakes. Now, the main thing that I did to start with is I had all these systems on, and this is another system we'll get to in a second. Don't they look sad? They are not going to look sad in about a week, and we'll tell you why in this video as well. But these systems were on solar, and the problem with solar is there wasn't enough sun on this part of the house for them to be on long enough. So they weren't getting enough nutrients going through the little pipes. That's what they are. They're things, they're pipes. So now that I've got a pump going 24 hours a day, they have perked up a fair bit. Another issue is not enough light. And yeah, I was starting to think that it's not enough nutrients because they're looking a little bit pale, but it's the light. I thought they would stretch towards the light. They haven't really done that, but they are looking a little bit pale. Now, with the water quality, and there's some tests I've just done. So that is nitrites and that is nitrates. It is reading 0 and 0. And that is a proper test. We have actually done it properly because we do water quality. All that sort of stuff over there is water quality. Problem is, all the lettuce are sucking up all the nitrates out of the water. So even having two 900-litre tubs, there is not enough nutrients for the lettuce. So they're sort of sucking as much of it they can out of the water, and then that is it. I am not entirely sure if I can add trace elements and minerals to the water without upsetting the fish. And most aquaponic systems are designed for the plants, not the fish. We're trying to do a happy balance where the fish are happy, the plants are happy. Even pH is an issue because these are slightly alkaline fish, and like goldfish you want 7.2, slightly more alkaline than that, where the lettuce and that want the water more acidic apparently. So it can be issues with the pH as well with this sort of happening. This system here, and yeah, it looks pretty bad, but it's not as bad as it looks. These are all grown from seed as well as those. This was on these two tubs, and these tubs practically had no end chemical waste. There's a big Murray cod in there, which is a big native Australian fish, and not many goldfish in that tub, and these tubs are a lot bigger than these. So the amount of waste produced by these and that biofilter wasn't enough to actually grow any of those. And the solar pump was only coming on for about 3 or 4 hours a day, which was not enough for this system as well. This system I've actually hooked over to this little, I was going to call it a barrel, but it's not. What is that? That is a bucket. And I have hydroponic solution in that. It has been a couple of days since I've swapped it over from that system to this, and they have already perked up, and they're starting to go a darker green than they were. They were very, very pale before. So I don't expect many of those to survive, but I think with the added nutrients, well actually, that one there has got a lot darker green. So that was super, super pale a couple of days before, sort of like that one's pale. But I think now, okay, yeah, they did not have that amount of roots a few days ago. And if you have a look at these, yeah, that is the difference. Practically no roots coming out of them because there's not enough nutrients to grow. where that has got a decent amount of nutrients in that tiny little bucket, which is getting pumped up the top and going back through these trays. Actually, yeah, the pump I'm using as well is that, which is an Awazi, I think 1,000 litre an hour pump, super low wattage, awesome German-made pumps. I think it's got a 1.3 metre head height too. So I tried a few different pumps. That one seems to be a nice amount of flow going through these. So hopefully we'll do an update in about a week or so and see how much these have perked up. Now getting back to this system, way too many lettuce for this system because they're just sucking all the nutrients out. So I do ideally want a little bit of nitrite showing so I know I have enough chemical waste for these plants to feed off. So what I'm going to do is probably take out half of these, put them in that system, and then in a week's time we'll update with another video and we'll see the difference between these and those. And all going well, they will grow a lot faster than these. Well, in the ideal situation, they all grow awesome, but this is not the ideal situation because not enough light. So light and nutrients are the main things you want for your plants, obviously. So I'm going to thin some of those out and we'll be back in a second. Well, that was hours of fun. Actually, it didn't take very long at all. So I've removed every second lot of lettuce. So that should pretty much cut it in half with the amount of nutrients that they're going to suck up out of this system. I could add more fish to that system as well, but I think if I add more fish, it's going to kind of crash the whole system. I'll need more filtration as well. Yeah, because filtration versus fish versus plants all kind of matters. So the more fish you have, the more filtration you need to break down the chemical waste to get the end chemicals. So this way, halving the halving the plants in half seems to be the logical way to go to see what will happen. So yeah, very, very easy, like just moving them and placing them into this system. Look at the difference between those, and they were kind of planted about the same time. I think these ones were actually planted before those ones, so that's kind of crazy. Yeah, at least with the nutrients in this system, I can replace it every 2 weeks as it gets spent, and yeah, they should take off. Again, not much light, but we're gonna come back in about a week or so with a new video, so feel free to subscribe and click the little bell thing and that if you want to see an update on what has happened. And hopefully these are doing well and those are doing a lot better. I have a sneaking suspicion that those are going to take off a lot better than this system because they have unlimited amount of nutrients. Light is the only problem, but as I said, it's been raining non-stop for like 3 or 4 days. I think we've got a lot of sun turning up in the next day or two. Yeah, we're going to turn up that sun. Turn up the sun? Oh, God. And hopefully that will make a big difference. Oh, my temperature has also jumped to 19.5 degrees. It was about 14. That is Celsius, so the people of Fahrenheit, that's like 67. Once the water temperature gets to about 22, 23, we're going to move the goldfish and replace them with some tropical fish. Because there's a slow progression with the heat building up, bacteria is not going to die or anything like that, as long as we have enough ammonia to feed them. So there's a fine line with mixing and swapping fish over. So hopefully this video made a little bit of sense with how this works and how I stuffed up. Mostly just not enough nutrients because I had no idea how much nutrients I need for the lettuce, and not enough light. I could run a light above these, but that kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. Yeah, hopefully in a week's time, this will go all crazy and we'll have lots of lettuce and everything will be wonderful. We will see you in the next video.